All right. Before we do anything, before we even introduce that we have a guest on with Chris, we called out we got to do this. So, real fast, just real fast. Everyone watching, little special. This is the first ever reaction to a reaction to a reaction.
Wait, how many
Here's
cups?
the deal. It's been just over a year since the first Wheel of Time teaser trailer came out. I haven't watched my reaction video from that teaser trailer since then, and I'm going to react to it on this video today and kind of break down and laugh at myself for all the predictions and everything that I came up with. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video. It helps so much. And if you want notifications for when I go live or post new content, hit the little bell. Without further ado, let's get into this.
So reaction to reaction.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Nobody panic.
I don't know where to look.
Yeah, you don't panic.
No,
Don't
yeah.
panic.
We're doing it,
Now
guys.
I'm panicking.
Okay.
A
I'm recording that.
little
This
confused.
is like one of my first YouTube videos, by the way. Like
This is my first. This is our first reaction to a reaction to a reaction.
That's mean.
What's going on there, guys?
Yeah, what is going on
Wheel
there?
of Time turns.
Wait, is that her saying it now or then?
So
Oh, she's
excited.
excited
Oh my
then.
gosh.
I think the one on the left is
The one on the
her.
left is
There you go.
definitely her
It's the
reacting
reaction.
The
to
first
the
one.
Wheel
Year
of
guy.
Time.
Legend.
I'm tearing up at the voiceover.
Oh,
Like, what the hell's going on with my hair? We didn't end up seeing it at all, anyways.
That's funny. That's how my first reaction was too. It wasn't exciting. I was just like,
I'm literally trying so hard not to cry.
Yeah.
But it's one thing.
I don't know if it's getting laggy for you guys. Is it
Swan.
laggy for you guys?
a little
I think it's
bit, but
kinda-
I've seen this so many times. I got it memorized, except for her
I
reaction.
mean, that's the thing. It is the wheel reads.
I have no
and
idea what's going on.
We don't have issues.
Yeah,
with
I have
But
no
I'm
idea what's going on
excited
either.
about it.
I
I
keep
love
watching
how,
her
like,
original
her
reaction.
handle
That was me.
that. Like,
Now
Okay.
Dagger.
She looks like a 3-year-old on Christmas.
Yeah. She's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Here we go. Scandalized. What's going
Childhood
on?
wonder is in her eye.
Oh,
Well, one she's really excited. The other one she's like not really reacting. It's really strange.
no, not at all. She's got her mouth open like she's waiting for something to go in it.
Channeling. Amazing.
Oh,
Come on. You had to
I
get
have
it.
to
You know,
remember.
she-
I have to remember. I
Cosign.
have to remember. This is what you guys do.
Look at her.
This is what Chris
I have
does.
no idea
Don't
what's
say
going
you
on.
guys. Don't throw me in this.
Yeah. Appropriate reaction.
Oh, Reeves. She's having a heart attack on the left and just smiling at her heart attack on the right. It's great.
And here we
Oh,
go.
What's great is
Find
I don't
the
know that
release
she's
date.
truly watching her react to it. She's watching. You could tell she's watching the trailer again, and not so much her
She
reaction.
was.
Yeah.
You're
And,
absolutely right.
and still getting
Yeah.
wowed at the same parts.
yeah.
That was the best. There was a couple where on both sides she was like,
Well, I had to do that so we can actually. I did in the beginning before we actually start the episode, so that way, in case it gets copyright striked, I can just cut that part out.
"Oh yeah, very wise of you."
Yeah. So, let me get my notes up because now I'm all discombobulated. So, welcome to the Will Reads, season 6, episode 17, 134th or 5th. Yeah, 5th, 135th. Yeah. They've been doing this for a while.
A wee bit.
for a little bit of time. And just want to do a quick little housekeeping stuff before we get into the episode and before we get into personal life and everything else. We have no new patrons, not this week. Yeah, we had a couple
still
of runs
love
for
y'all.
a few weeks. Yeah, we still love all of you guys. Definitely, we love our patrons a lot. We will be doing a reaction, another
our
patron
regular
reaction
people.
video. Yeah, we do. We love all of them. So other news, housekeeping things, we do have a giveaway going on right now. It's for a hardcover copy of the Wheel of Time book of your choice on the Twitters. So if you go check that out, it's being retweeted everywhere. So go retweet it and you can enter to win a hardcover copy of whatever Wheel of Time book you tell me you want to get. Also in Twitter news, we have wrapped up a call for nominations for the Twitter of Time Awards, which will be the 5th of November at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or Standard Time. Not sure when we make that switch. Might be at the switch. So I think it's Standard Time. Anyways, We'll be doing that live. 8:00 is when red carpet starts with the way the leaf. We'll get into the show at 9. It's been crazy, and I've been super stressed about it, but it's coming together. Last year, I think we had a total of like 70 nominations for 11 awards. This
Wow.
year, we had I think it was close to 1,000 nominations
Wow.
for 11 awards. So
Okay, guys.
No, these
Yeah.
are awards giving.
Oh,
And people vote on it, right?
a lot.
Like you
we'll
set up,
vote
like-
live. Yeah, it'll be live voting. And I don't do this alone. Rob from Malcure Talks is producing it.
Good,
We
good.
have Delusions of
man.
Greydale helping out. Tree Hugger, Jake from our Jake from Discord. from our, he's our executive producer, but he's also gonna be helping out with that. Rob Christensen from Weekly Wheel News and New Creations by Jen is helping out. We got a whole team. The Way Leaf, of course.
Yeah, just
So,
make sure Rob doesn't get stuck in a hardware store
Yeah,
when y'all
and
are
we do
trying
have
to
some,
record.
and we do have some surprises for that as well. We've had some DMs with certain people that we might be getting some really cool stuff for it. So I'm not going to announce that 'cause it's a surprise. But tune in November 5th for the Twitter Time Awards. It's going to be fun. A whole lot of fun. And there is prizes. You can win a wheelie. So,
Yeah,
yay.
I could do a wheelie.
You can.
Yeah,
I can
You,
do a
you can still
cartwheel.
do one?
yeah. I can do it
Okay.
on my. Well, I was about to say on my motorcycle that I don't have anymore.
I can do it on a bike, but the bikes don't tend to last as long when I do it.
Yeah.
That's got to be a reinforced rear tire. No offense, buddy, but that's got to be a hell of
I
Gotta
So-
tell you, my bike
upgrade the suspension.
My bike cries every time I hit a bump. It's like, and then the teeth on them like quiver a little bit, and
nice. Every
Yeah.
time we ride up the hill, I get a little scared because I can hear the bike screaming for help.
Squeaking back there.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time. I'm just looking
And-
over my shoulder
the chain is like,
Is he okay?
it's like I'm back in Newport News.
Oh yeah, looking over your shoulder, be like, "What's that? What corner we at? Oh shit!"
So also, if you hear the other voice or see the other person here, we do have a guest with us tonight. So if you remember all the way back almost 3 years ago when we started this podcast, Chris was a single man. Since then, someone's been able to convince him to settle down. He put a ring on it, and it's about to put another ring on it in a few weeks to make it 2. Also,
Yeah.
Chanel learned about the Wheel of Time, I guess, through Chris, or at least started reading because of Chris, because of this. And she blew past Chris, so she's now what we consider
yeah.
a more veteran reader. Still a first-time reader. Are you on book 9, 10?
I am on book 9.
Okay, Winter's Heart.
Oh,
Take
Give
your-
him
so
some
jealous.
indication of where you're at in the book without
No.
spoiling us.
No.
Oh yeah, I'll earmuffs.
So
I'll cover
Just
my ears.
middle start, 3/4. You can say that.
I'll- the most notable thing was the
Ooh,
prologue
yeah.
so far,
Ooh.
and it was beautiful.
Oh, we'll get to read that in 2 years, Chris.
I even got a little
So
teary-eyed.
excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'll be a little while before we get to that. If we keep our current pace, we will be reading the prologue to that on actually next August. So not 2 years, just
A year.
a
Not
little less,
too bad.
11 months. 11 months.
Of course, I'll
So-
be a second-time reader by that point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
she can be hosting her own podcast.
Well, Chanel is joining us tonight to cover these wonderful chapters. These are awesome chapters, and a lot of fun and a lot of big implications. I know I said it last week. Pretty much every single chapter for the rest of this book is big implications for the rest of the series, and you guys will
No, this
discover
was
that
fantastic.
every
All I'm
time
gonna
you.
say is we were right. We were right.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Sure.
My-
So,
bought me this, so she also has to stick around because she's got to keep me awake.
oh, there you go.
Does alcohol
Yeah.
make you fall
Just-
asleep?
Mhm.
Oh wait, we're
Just-
on YouTube.
Oh,
Sorry,
Yeah.
YouTube.
he falls asleep in many of our episodes. Not a lot recently, but there have been many where, like, towards the end of the second half of the whatever our last chapter is, you just hear.
Yeah.
I need to start drinking coffee. Sounds like we have the same problem.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, good.
It is
These
the same
chapters
thing.
are exciting enough. I don't see that happening
You,
tonight.
you know,
There's-
my wife says the same thing when I start talking too long. She just falls asleep because I just, it's just I'm boring. Because I'm boring. So these I
He's just
think
talking about
that,
some
Chris.
random
Um,
World War II battle. He's just droning
Probably.
on about.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
that's probably what I end up talking about for 10 minutes about some random historical fact. Did you know? So personal life. As far as what I got going on in my life, this weekend I'm going to a bachelor party. Obviously
Another
not Chris's, but a different bachelor party. Yeah, last weekend was just a impromptu dinner
Gotcha.
bachelor night, which is cool. But this is actually a full blown destination bachelor party, multi-day. So I leave Thursday a little bit later. I was going to leave first thing in the morning, but we have a funeral that we're going to that morning. A good friend, my best friend growing up, his mother passed away Monday.
Sorry to hear
yesterday.
that.
Yeah, no, it's she had Alzheimer's. It's a long time coming. So
Yeah.
but one of those things where I mean, obviously go to the funeral, so just be a little late to the bachelor party, which is okay. It's fine. It's more
Yeah.
important. That's all I got going on in my personal life is getting ready for those things. I mean, it's a lot.
Ian.
Well, tomorrow I'm getting neutered. So if I look like I'm a little, I'm getting snipped tomorrow.
Oh,
Are you really? I thought y'all
Yeah.
gotta go for one first.
No, I feel like 6 is enough.
Uh,
And we've talked about it quite a bit. And like, if we get to that point where we're like, oh, we want kids, like we both wanted to adopt or
okay.
be a foster home or something like that. And there's definitely a need for it where we are.
for sure, yeah.
So
Well, that's
that might
cool.
be a better opportunity down the road. So yeah, I wasn't nervous about it. Actually, the worst part is probably the prep. So like they tell you you have to shave your sack, just the sack. They don't want any
Mhm.
hair on the sack. And I started doing that and I was like, well, that's
No,
weird to
why?
have a really smooth sack and then everything else just be like, bruh. So I just kept going, but then I didn't know where to stop because like then you're all like smoothing certain areas. Well, now I got this like big old belly button tuft of hair coming out, and I'm like, well, let me trim that too. And then my thighs are super hairy, and I'm like, well, I'll take it down to the knee. And then I'm like, well, fuck, where's the
Where does
appropriate
it-
line? Just where does this end? I'm like, I should
Remind
just
you
taken
your
it.
swimming time.
Right. Yeah. That's so I should have done like back in the swim days. For the big meets, I just nared. I didn't even shave. I would just get this, just rub it all over, feel the burn for a day, and
Dip
be
in a bucket
okay.
in
So
there.
I should have done that.
Just-
Anyways, but that yeah.
We'd also do that too in the pool, like afterwards when people hit the showers, we would swap out Nair into someone's shampoo bottle.
Replace their shampoo.
Dude.
Just a clump comes out. Oh man. Yeah. Those were the days.
Things you'd probably get like a lawsuit for nowadays that we
Oh
definitely
yeah.
Yeah.
What's great is, I mean, yeah, sure the people got mad, but not like horribly mad. They were
Yeah.
just like, I'm mad, but I'll get you back.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, nobody was fighting over that, but it was
I
I
hate
would
you,
fight.
but
Wait
I
for you to get
respect
into
you.
the pool and
Yeah.
drop a toaster
yeah, right.
while it's
Oh,
plugged
so-
in.
What
Well, that's
else?
big
Oh,
news.
Catching
Yeah.
charges from here.
they say I'm supposed to be done soon. I don't have my final orders, but they're throwing around the date of October 15th.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
great.
to put this misery in perspective, had my injury in November. They didn't let me leave Wisconsin because we were short on leadership anyway. So from November till February, working and a crap ton of pain. End of February, get the transition here, finally make it here, March 16th. And they misdiagnosed me, and then they weren't gonna do the MRI. Then I had to insist on it. 2 months into it, I get the MRI, and they're like, oh shit, your back's really fucked up. And even then it took another month to get to pain management, and then weeks after that to finally get the injection. And at that point, so this was August when I get the injection. So that's the first point since last November where I didn't feel like nonstop excruciating pain.
So 9 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then they're like, well, if that we'll wait a little while, and like if that doesn't do it, we could do another injection, or then we'll talk surgery. And between me and you guys, it ain't exactly working. Like I have to be very careful what I do because I've already had a lot of different little things kind of trigger it, and I'm laid out again. But I'm not going to tell them because those fuckers are going to keep me here, and I'm going to be miserable. So I'm trying to not do too much and get back home, get back to work, and then get in with the VA. This is how bad. All right, this should put in perspective. This is how bad my experience here has been. I'm looking forward to fucking getting out of here and going to the VA.
Wow.
That is the preferred like course of action right now.
I laugh in a sense of I literally know like 2 people that went to the VA and they were not doing that bad, just bad enough, and then passed away in the VA. So
oh man,
take care of yourself.
So I'm optimistic because I'm doing their Office of Community Care. I'm not actually going to VA hospital. I found a doctor that a couple friends referred me to in the area. She's prior service, but she works for Riverside Hospital, one of the Riverside groups, and she doesn't mess around. Like whatever your ailment is, she automatically refers you to a specialist out on the economy. So like I think I'll be in good shape. But I got my shot in August, and they still don't have my final orders, and they're thinking October 15th I'll be out of here. So like this place it's like the fucking Hotel California. I just can't leave.
Yeah, and I think did you announce last time about the court and what happened there? I think you told everybody in Discord, but I don't think you've told the podcast.
Oh yeah, I mentioned in Discord. If y'all aren't in Discord, so I was getting prepared for a big old battle here, as I spilled the beans on last time, and I had to call Alan. I was very disappointed. There was no opportunity to scream, "You can't handle the truth," because I demanded a court martial. And then like a week later, they turned around and they were like, never mind. We're just going to throw that paper away and you can go home. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like, I mean, I guess it's good news, but at the same time, I really, when you prepare for an argument, like,
oh yeah, you want to have.
I was ready to
go. My shit's handled, so let's do this.
You rehearsed your lines in the shower and everything, didn't you?
In my sleep, I'd wake up mumbling that shit. When I'd go home, I'd start like
note cards,
arguing with myself in the corner, and Meredith and the kids are like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just getting ready. I just gotta get my lines ready." And like I was spending weeks going around just watching everybody else in the chain of command fuck up and taking notes on it, and I was just ready to be like, "And you're a motherfucker, and you're a motherfucker, and you're a motherfucker," and I didn't get that opportunity, so I don't know.
Jack was like, "No, we're not playing with this one. We've looked at his prior track record and."
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The first time I've ever had any negative counseling ever, and they're like, well, we might take your rank. Fuck you. Sorry. Anyway, so I guess it turned out okay.
Retire him and get him out of here.
Seriously, that's the direction I should be going, but I don't want to stay here a day longer than I have to. So I'll go home, and there's a process to do that within the reserves and through the VA doctors and everything. It's just, I'm done. Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, Chris, what's going on with you? Besides squeaky bikes, Chris, you guys can.
So there have been pictures released here and there, and there'll be some more up of the new editions, plural.
Yep, that happened
for y'all.
They're like the funnest little pair of kittens ever.
They are.
And then her sister turned around today and got
a golden doodle.
Oh,
hey!
So now we're gonna go visit the golden doodle because.
Is it a good boy or girl? Is it a good boy or girl?
He's a good boy. He's a good Apollo.
You tell him he's a good boy.
He's a lap baby already.
Oh,
he's a good boy.
So cuddly.
You know what? One day we might just set up a cam and do kitten watch, and then let y'all watch the kittens on Discord. That would be hilarious.
Yay!
Live stream kitten watch.
We might have to put like a little R or TV mature in the corner.
Are they little
someone
frisky?
hit puberty early?
Okay.
Just experimenting. They don't know what it means yet. Yeah.
What's this? Oscar definitely knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
It's like
on grabbing and like I know you like.
Oh man.
It's like when I took quarters and everything.
Oh my god.
Y'all try to be those nice parents and not shame him. You're like, now, Oscar, let's calm down.
It's like last
first.
We're not
Last
in
year-
West Virginia.
Last year I took my
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
Last year I took my kids to the zoo, and the two turtles were going at it, and like one kid's like, "Mommy, what's going on?" Mom's like, "They're just trying to play a game of leapfrog. It's just a little game of leapfrog."
Oh, yeah.
He's really trying. Oh yeah, you can't
Oh,
quite
yeah.
get over the shell.
It's never going to make it over with him being hooked in like that. Like, that's kind of.
Oof.
Other
Yeah,
than
figure out how to play
that,
this game.
we got the seating chart just about done. So we're just waiting on the final nod from the parents, and then we're done. Like, we are done on our end. The parents are the ones that aren't done.
Yeah, I think the only thing that we have left to do is like we have to pick up some ribbons and braid them up. We're going to do a hand fasting ceremony as our
Aw.
unity piece,
Little bondage.
and then we have to write our vows. But
That's-
other than
that's
that,
Writing vows. I'm not writing mine. I'm just gonna go
Make sure you have a safe word.
no.
I was gonna say, do
no,
you have a
If you're
safe
using
word for
ropes,
that
you have a
bondage
safe
number?
word. Yeah, dude.
The safe word is I do.
Yeah, precisely.
The ropes don't get released until you say.
Make
I
sure
do.
it's a safe object too. I don't know if
Right. Yeah.
That's the rings.
okay, there you go.
Be glad I'm not a groomsman. Like, as soon as they started tying y'all's hands together, I'd come up with like a little red ball and put it in your mouth, Chris, and tie that off.
If you can't,
Yeah, Chanel's like, yep. No,
Oh.
none of that.
Mm-mm.
Just
Even
hand,
casually
hand her a,
Mm-mm.
hand her a bullwhip and walk away.
You would casually pull a get mask.
I don't need a whip.
The zipper off.
my grandmother will be there.
My
Okay.
grandmother will be there.
I'll save those jokes for later in the evening then. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Not Minister Pearly Bill, Puritan
No.
Thomas Borders. Not Colleen.
Yeah.
I'll sit in the back row then. Don't worry about it. I'll be in the way back.
No.
Fun times.
And then the bishop
So you
is my cousin, so
Okay. There you go.
She would actually
So you guys-
probably
you got-
enjoy that.
Yeah,
Bishop, that is.
probably.
Oh,
So you guys ready to talk about
wow.
Wheel of Time? Since we're
Sure.
I guess.
20 minutes in. Yeah. These are good chapters. Let's get into it.
Journey to Salidara. This is a really short, like, you can't see it, but that's all that we
Yeah.
listened to.
It's just short.
Do you
It's a short
believe
chapter.
that? Like, I
It's not
could've
the
actually
size
read
of the
that.
chapter, Chris.
you wouldn't
It's-
have.
You're right. It's the girth of the material.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about the
And it
motion of
was
the issue.
girthy. Very girthy.
It's how you work them words. You gotta.
Exactly. And Jordan is a master at working
He
the
is.
word.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 34, Journey to Saladar, which is we got
He's
the
already
flame
over
of,
us, Ian.
yeah, I am. Flame of Torvalin symbol. Is our chapter symbol. And we start with Egwene packing her things, getting ready to go, because she's going to go step into Tel'Ramigod in the flesh. So do the whole
So,
entire
Ian, I'm believing you more and more and more from all the way from book one about Bella being like the creator. I'll just leave it at that, and
Something
then we'll get
important
there.
going here. Really, that's the highlight of this chapter.
Correct.
what's the highlight?
Bella.
That was impressive.
So I think it's funny. Like Egwene starts off with just the washing of her face twice, getting her materials together, and they're like, "Here, take all the things," and she's like, "How do you expect me to take all of this with me? Like, it's just not going to work."
Yeah.
And here's my other thought
Unless
too.
you have a Bella.
True. She also
Don't do
now
it
has
again.
the ability to travel at will. So why take things when you can just come back and use it whenever you want, and then just
Well,
Makes
again,
us-
this is her first time though, and she also doesn't know what she's getting into. So
that's what you said.
because we've read these chapters, we're like, oh, she could come back whenever she wants. But remember, she's thinking she might be there for a while and in a lot of trouble.
Mhm.
So
You know, something might happen to keep her there, but you never know.
She's thinking she's going to be scrubbing pots for all of an eternity.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Also, you guys just kept talking. Every time we play that clip, I have to say, thank you, The Way the Leaf, for letting us use that clip. Because that's part of the agreement of me using the Bella clip. Is The Way the Leaf made
Yeah.
that, not us.
Thank you, the way the leaf.
Yeah, thank you
Now
so
that
much.
clip
It's
makes
awesome.
more sense. The way it like zooms in on the eye.
Ah,
Oh yeah. So yeah, she I guess dreams Bella into existence. It's not. Is it? I guess it's not the real Bella. It's not because the real Bella's down
So
Saladar.
explain what was so when she was in her tent, was she like weaving the tent to look like the tent in Talanriad? Or was she going to sleep and thinking about it being that way and woke up with it that way? Like, what was your take on that, Ian?
well, it wasn't going to sleep because she went there
And
for real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she channeled briskly, flows of spirit woven just so. The air shimmered in the middle of the tent. So this is one of those shimmering things. In
Yeah.
the middle of the tent, along with her weave, cloaking the other side in mistiness. And if she was right, she just created a place where the interior of her tent was so similar to its reflection in Teleron Riyadh that there was no difference at all. One was the other.
So I guess she created a pathway.
Yeah,
of-
like an opening, a physical opening in a Teleron Riyadh.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I always pictured that looking kind of like, in the Sorcerer's Stone where Harry first opens the invisibility cloak and he puts it around. It's kind of got that shimmery kind
Yeah.
of kind of.
Yeah, I like
That's kind
that.
of how I pictured that.
For those of y'all listening, not watching, when she said shimmering, there was a whole body, hand, shimmering, which is exactly right. That's how I
Yeah.
read it.
I feel like you have to do that when you say words like shimmer.
Yeah. Gee, look, or glistening. Glistening, I go more spirit finger. Sorry.
So yeah,
I'm
so she
very
enters in,
animated, guys.
yeah. So she
digging.
enters into Teleron Riyadh, summons Bella, and then starts not so much. I mean, she rides Bella, but she doesn't. She jumps like she does, like you do in Teleron Riyadh, like Perrin
First
had
she
done.
changed the saddle. She's like, let's test the theory. I did dream Bella up or put Bella here. Now let's change this hard saddle and see exactly what happens. Because she still got her ass beat like a few minutes ago.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
literally,
She's still a little sore.
the
And-
sword. That's not even the word for it. She got a badonkadonk now. It's so swollen
She
that
got
you
beat.
can put a cup on it.
It's a shelf.
Shelf.
Oh, speaking of that, I made the mistake with getting neutered tomorrow. I made the mistake of Googling, what's the worst that can happen. So I spent
Hi, Ian.
30
Why?
minutes looking at pictures of men's testicles that are as big as a freaking basketball. Like,
Whoa.
you see the South Park episode where he microwaves his balls so he could get medical marijuana, and then he's like carrying his balls around in a wheelbarrow.
So
I
on
just
Sunday,
that.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, actually.
on Sunday, are you bringing like an ice pack or what? What do you?
I'm hoping I'll be pretty decent by then. I'm gonna be very chill. Like, I'm gonna drive home,
Sounds
not
like a good
tomorrow,
plan.
but probably Thursday, and then I'm just gonna be laid up until Sunday and
Okay.
do nothing.
I'll make
should be
sure
right.
just to come give you a nice little tap.
No tapping. Because this could be twice as bad. One, like they're putting sharp objects down there, right? And that's going to be
I've had it
uncomfortable.
done. I know.
Yeah, but
Is it,
remember,
are they using a clamp or a laser?
yeah, no, I didn't even ask questions.
So
I think it's
they
a,
use
I think it's
scissors.
I think it's
They
a
use they
Yeah.
use scalpel,
clippers.
and then they use
They have a
scissors,
couple different procedures.
and then
Yeah.
they
She's already looked into this for some reason.
and then
I'm
they,
I'm a health education person. Like I studied this in school. I had to learn this.
yeah,
Yeah.
tie and burn.
Yeah. I just know you have to so you have to give it a little rest to heal a little bit, but then you have to do your thing a certain number of times to like get rid of
Clear
any
the-
excess swimmers.
Yeah.
But you still gotta, you're still kind of recovering then. So, well, no, I don't want to change the rating of the show. Anyways, I negotiated some things with my significant other that we're just going to have to do for medical reasons You know, because
See,
gotta
there's no reason to
be-
do it.
gotta
Is
be
that
gentle.
you gotta
but
let you
it's
get
still
one
gotta-
shot? You not kiss.
I think that is the softest way I could have put that.
I am
Oh
not
my
throwing
god.
away my
We're-
shot.
We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this one go.
Yeah.
You get
It's
one
for my
shot
health.
on
It's
there.
for my health, honey.
Yeah.
I need to do it.
We're
I'm gonna ask the
roll
doctor for a
dice. You should
prescription
call
for
it
like
that moment
30 of
and
them,
roll the
Jinx.
dice and see what happens.
Chanel, don't
Okay.
worry. Y'all are gonna when y'all have kids, you're gonna have about 100 aunties and uncles. They're gonna be spoiled like you wouldn't believe. It's all good.
I heard you say 100. I was really hoping you weren't going to say kids after that.
Oh, I mean, y'all do what y'all feel comfortable doing, but yeah, I'm not sending 100 Christmas presents, so I mean,
Nope. So
So
anyway,
then she jumps on Bella. she
yep,
rides
and then
Bella.
jumps from place to place really fast and blurs and
Like a
she-
And she
novice.
did it really by accident. She
Mhm.
was just thinking
Mhm.
to herself, like,
Right.
could you, like, it'd be funny if Bella just rode like the wind. Didn't you say this at one point?
Ride like
Ian?
the wind, bullseye.
so
This
this is why I said novice, because she's just testing the limits of what she could do in there. But remember, this is Teleron Riyadh.
Yeah.
When they go in there and they're dreaming and they want to go somewhere, they just think of it. And
Yeah.
they're there.
It's very
So-
similar to someone else we know who
Yep.
hops around.
So I'm as cool as this
Everybody else.
was, and I don't want to spoil it because it was awesome. Like, oh my gosh, she moves so
Mhm.
fast. I'm anticipating as she develops this that she's going to be able to go in and go blink. I'm on the other side of the world, and then step out, and it'll be a little bit more instantaneous.
Mhm.
So, but it's
Now,
cool
what
that
about
we
the-
got this.
Bella was not there, but her eye was there. That's why I was like, maybe Bella is the creator. The creator is in the eye of Bella.
I just thought that she's just
Yeah.
a very good dreamer.
No,
Hmm.
Bella's the creator.
I believe. Yeah, I think Chris has this one.
It's all in the eyes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why I don't look people directly in the eye anymore. Like, I don't want to be rude, but I mean, you've seen my eyes, Chris and Alan. So people just get lost in them, and then they get all philosophical and
Oh, yeah,
blah blah
for
blah.
sure.
So I just I look away all the time. I don't want to mess up people's day. Really, I don't want them to mess up my day.
I was told
So-
I have black pits of abyss for eyes.
Oh, they're that deep.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
gotta. So if next time I see you, like I just get up. Don't think I'm
I
weird. I just want to
understand.
see how far into them I can see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Of course, I have blue eyes. Whenever I ask my kids, I'm like, they're gray. I'm like, but they're not the blue. I'm like, no, they're gray, Dad. Like your hair.
Like your hair. Oh. Yeah.
Anyways,
So-
so jumping.
we got better than a long horse ride. It was like super fast forwarded, like montage travel by horseback and just ripping through everything and everything whizzing by. So it was
Mhm.
very cool.
Correct. Now there were moments
Definitely.
of like fear in that ride, excitement, anxiety. She went through like the whole spectrum in like 20 seconds.
Mhm.
It was like doing a drug for the first time. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
know what to expect. This is awesome. I have such a good time. Oh my gosh, too much. Slow down. Okay, a little bit faster. Ah!
Yeah. So one thing that's really cool is they thought that the Ice and I were expecting her to take a couple of days to get there, and she did in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So they were so
Well,
shocked.
Papa
Like,
had
when
to, like set in her mind that she was going to prove a point,
she did.
Yeah.
and she did it. So there's that.
She did it. Yeah. She gets to the village and like walks in and like the first person that walked up to us like, who are you? And was like, I'm here to see Sherry. And they're like, wait, what? Like all the Ice and I like, you gotta
I'm
tell
an
us how you did this.
accepted. Like,
Yeah.
you're an accepted. Okay.
The woman's like, everybody comes to me. Doesn't anybody do anything for themselves? No, they want Mildred to do it. I thought for a moment that she heard the name and she was a dark friend, and she was like, gotcha. Like
Yeah.
I was really seriously thinking, maybe we got completely tricked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Jordan
For a split
doesn't do that
second,
the way-
for a split second, I was like, Egwene, you fool. Like, until you know who you're talking to, don't reveal who you are. Like, for the same
Exactly.
reason.
My thought 100%. But like I said, Jordan doesn't do that the same way Martin does to us. So there's that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Martin would have been like, ha ha ha, stab. Now you'll never make it.
Right.
Her leg gets chopped off. Like, what? What
Yep.
just happened?
And then a rock drops on her head out of nowhere. Just
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
Acme
So
style.
she meets with a couple of the Aes Sedai, including Sheriam and Swan, and this is where she figures out it's Swan. I mean, she had seen Swan, but didn't believe it was her. And then she was like, "Holy crap, it is you!" Wait,
oh yeah,
how-
it was the voice and
How?
the fish comment.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, Nynaeve healed her." It's like, Nynaeve, what?
Yeah.
She's super
And-
confused. She's like, wait, one of Nynaeve's advancements?
Yeah.
Her and Elaine are doing what? No.
Yeah. Well, she's been missing out on so much, missing these trips to Teleron Riyadh and meeting up with them,
For sure.
which I guess you needed this in the plot, maybe, but it's not like she wasn't going. Like she was still going. She was just avoiding them. I don't know.
That's true.
Mhm.
But she did miss out on all of it.
A lot.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how she
And
felt,
Swan,
though?
I still can't wrap my head around why. I know we've already talked about this, so we don't have to go down this rabbit hole too much. But Swan didn't just return to looking like how Swan looked before as the Amyrlin.
Oh no,
She's
said
like
significant.
significantly younger looking and smooth skin and everything. It's like,
Mhm.
is she just starting over? I hope there's more explanation as Nynaeve figures out what she actually did.
Maybe the more you use the power, the baggier your eyes get.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your nipples
If so, I've used a lot of power. I mean, look at these bad boys.
Yeah, so it's that stress. So yeah, so after this little awkward initial meeting and her figuring some things out, and they ask her to sit. She's like, "No, I'll just stand. I'm good. I'll just sit." And then she wants to kind of figure out why she's been summoned, and they're like, "Oh, silly girl, you're to be the next on seat. That's why." And that's how we end this chapter.
Well, it's not even that. You got people in the background like, just tell her what's going on. Like,
Just
get
tell
it
her what's
over
going- yeah,
with.
yeah.
Poor girl, but not really.
Yeah, she definitely got ambushed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Saw it coming.
Oh.
He didn't give a lot of lead up to this, but as she goes in there and, from our reader perspective, we're like, what could this be? Is she in trouble?
No.
I know we had
No time for that.
Go ahead.
guesstimated she's be the one picked for Amyrlin for all sorts of reasons, but they were just super nice to her right off the bat. And I think
was weird.
if it was for any of the other reasons she was afraid of, they'd have laid into her immediately.
Yeah.
So once they started being nice to her, I was like, holy shit, we were right.
Yeah.
And then that final line, I immediately,
Back when it was like,
called
is the
Alan. I
girl
was like,
ready?
what?
They're like, is the
So-
girl ready? We were wondering which girl. We alluded to it could be Nynaeve, could be Egwene. We don't
Yeah.
want it to be Elaine because then she'd be running too much stuff.
Right,
So
right.
I remember
And
a lot
Nynaeve
of
not breaking her block yet was probably a no-go at this point.
So I couldn't tell you why people were excited when it came out, but they cut this scene from the actual show. But if you remember the trailer, there's a scene where Gwen comes out of the water and all the colors of all the Ajas are all around her.
Yeah.
Everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people were excited in the fandom because it's the foreshadowing the book or the show was doing. As
yeah.
the multicolor stole.
Yes.
Oh, and see, I
Coming
was
out.
wondering where that scene was.
It was a
That
cut
does make
scene.
sense.
They did release the full scene. I think on YouTube you can go watch it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to go
But
back
yeah.
and watch that.
And because she wasn't Aes Sedai first, she never chose an Aja. So she's truly representing all of them. She's not like a former blue or former this or a former green.
Yeah, and she's butthurt. That's why she's not sitting.
She is.
Aw. Poor Elaine.
So, anyway, anything else? I mean, it's a short chapter, but it's a fun chapter. We get Bella, we get Egwene coming in, and the big drop at the end.
I'm curious.
Hmm.
I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaping ahead here.
Just
Do
leave.
you guys think there will be anything as a result of Elaine's physically stepping into Teleron Riyadh?
Oh, well. So again, when Jordan sprinkles like the smallest of hints or nuggets. Like you have to hold on to it, and it's gonna turn into something. So there was the little back and forth with Egwene and the wise ones about how dangerous it is, and blah 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 blah. And then she went and did it, and then she's like, "Oh, that was pretty easy." Well, immediately, like that's what I was thinking. I was like, "Well,
Red flag.
Easy.
if they were so terrified and like don't let anybody do it, and they call it evil, like there's got to be something else. Like, what did this
Yeah.
trigger, or is it like tiptoeing through a junkyard? You're going to wake up the junkyard dog. Like, is there some other being or beings that know you've done it?
What exited the back end when
Might
you
not
went in?
interpret.
Like,
Boom.
Might
Yeah.
not be the same.
Are you
What
the
do you
only one that's been in and out of that hole? Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
We've
Might need
gotten
to go get tested.
we've gotten some perspective on like why they chose Egwene from different point of views. What do you think their real motivation is behind?
Because they thought they could
Because they're-
control her.
Because they're dumb and naive.
Thought she would be a
Because they
puppet.
thought she was dumb and naive. At
They
one
realize
point,
that she's ideal
Because
trained.
the Aes Sedai are dumb and naive. Not just
yeah,
that.
they are.
Let's go back to when she was
Hubris
captured
they
by the
are.
Shan Chan. And remember how much we talked about how that changed her character and who
But
she
see,
was?
they don't have that context for real.
Right. They're missing a whole lot that's happened to
Yeah,
her in this short
They're
amount of
thinking
time.
the girl that came pretty much begging to be a part of them, who was also selected to work with or work for the last Amyrlin. Her name just left my mind that fast. She's not
Swan.
important anymore. Swan,
Swan.
thank you. They're also thinking like the friend of Rand and the easily manipulated. Like they've got.
Yeah, they're
this
trying to see what
idea.
they can get out of it. They're like, ooh, we could use her.
This
And what they don't know is
this
that she's got the
naive-
heart of
naive
Niall
little
now.
this naive little village girl that they can just kind
But
of.
see, we knew from the flicker moment.
We
Flicker,
knew
flicker,
we
flicker,
knew
flicker.
before that because Rand said, I don't even remember back in which book it was, that whenever Egwene does something, she does it with her whole heart.
Oh, yeah.
But her heart
Yeah,
was so
No.
But
What's the
when she was
word?
first,
That
when she was
told me
first going to
everything.
Tarvalon,
naive at the time.
That told me everything I needed to know about her in that sense. He said she does everything with her whole heart. And she did. Every
That's
single
true.
time from that point forward. Anytime she did something, she did it with her entire. She didn't hold back. She does, like we say Oscar does, head first.
yes,
Sometimes
I would
like-
combine that with the life experience she has up to this point. So, like, she has gained some wisdom, I guess,
Mhm.
having gone through some of the things she's done or gone through.
Mhm.
And we don't have to go too far because we're gonna get into it a little bit more when she starts talking about playing the game with the Aes Sedai. And
Oh yeah.
whew, I don't think they know what they're. I mean, she still has a lot to learn. She's playing with the big boys or big girls now,
Yeah.
right? But
Hmm.
she is not going to be as biddable as
We knew
I think
from the
these Aes
flicker
Sedai things.
moment.
Do you remember what Moraine said to her on the first lesson that she gave Egwene?
Yeah, she
Back
said,
power?
"Oh shit, you got some power."
So he said you have power. You might be one day.
Precisely.
He said you might be actually one day be able to become the Amyrlin seat.
Yes, I do remember
Yeah.
that.
It's like
She
in
was
the first
talking
couple
both of
chapters.
them.
Yeah, lots of foreshadowing. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
actually talked about that.
Way back in boy,
way
we were
then, like
talking
3 years
about that.
ago.
Way back.
And then we
Wait.
were talking about that after the flicker moment because we're seeing it come to the truth now. She is the Amyrlin seat, not held by. Well, we're not there yet. She has been elected or called to be the Amyrlin seat, and she has not gone through the trials and tribulations.
No oath rod.
of the
Yeah.
oath rod.
Well, since we're getting there, let's go ahead and move to the next chapter. So next chapter is 35, in the Hall of the Sitters. And the first thing going through Egwene's mind is I'm being punked. She's looking for like the camera crew for Ashton Kutcher to run out and be like, got him.
Yeah, just kidding. And then they start beating her again and hand her
Yeah.
like just throw dirty
It's
pots
like
at
it's
her.
like a cruel joke. Come on, you're kidding, right? You're joking, right? She looks around. They're all like completely serious, like dead serious. Like no, like you're it. She's
They said the
Immediately
wavering lamplight made their features suddenly strange and inhuman. Egwene's head felt light, her knees weak. Without thinking, she let herself thump in the straight back chair. She stood right up again. Oh, why you got so serious? And then she remembered she got.
Yeah,
Shaman.
kids nowadays may not know anything about this because it's
No, no,
frowned
that's
upon. But my mom had wooden spoons that she cooked with, and then she had there was a wooden spoon that was dedicated to my ass. And I mean, there have been multiple times where after a good ass whooping, I'd be like, "Well, let me just go sit over here," and you do that. Oh shit, nope, can't do that. That's a bad idea. I'll just lean against this chair for a little while.
Switches were the worst.
Oh
Switches.
Yeah,
especially when you got to go get your own.
Your
That
mom
little one ain't gonna save you.
You could probably reach the counter before you could make it a quarter of the way across the room, and then just like put full power into it and get you on the way out the door.
Yeah. Oh, I tried. I ran around the other side of the dining room table one time thinking I had my mom beat. And when she was in the air, like I couldn't really, my brain wasn't processing fast enough. I was like, is this reality? Bam. My mom can fly.
I remember there was one time my dad took a little smack me because I was talking back or doing something I probably should have been doing, and I ducked and he missed. And
That just makes it worse.
That's an invitation for a full beat down. Why would you do that?
I know. I should just click it.
Right. Let's see if you can dodge this.
You always
Dodge
take
this.
the first
Oh.
one and overreact. Like even if it doesn't hurt, go, oh. That's the worst one
Don't
ever.
cry. You'll get something else to cry about.
Yeah, right. That is
Yeah.
such a good spanking, Mom. You don't need to do more. Ow.
Good job.
We can stop now.
I'd
Sorry.
be like-
yeah, but
be like-
I felt that scene.
I'd be like my brother. My brother's the most defiant person, and it was. I remember there's one time my mom was giving him, yelling at him, and he's like, he's like, "You're being so rude" or something. Like that. I'm gonna smack you on the face. And my brother just leans in, it's like, "Which cheek you want?" Like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
my brother also was like a wrestler and like in high school and made
Yeah.
states and stuff like that. He's a bigger guy.
So, in what I'm reading right now, I'm on the second Mistborn book. I won't get into it and spoil anything for anybody, but when I read Ham, I picture your brother.
Yeah,
100%.
that sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my mind's eye.
Yeah,
He's
Breeze.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can, Alan. I can see you being a little bit breezy. Yep. A little bit.
Easy breezy cover girl, that's for sure.
But you're a mix between Breeze and the Terrace guy, the Terraceman.
Susan?
Yeah, because you're random history access.
That is the most kindest compliment I have ever had.
It
Yeah,
is
but
like
when you
I am so
But-
flattered. Wait
but
till you
only
finish this and
50%.
see if you still say that.
yeah, wait till you
Wait.
finish.
50%, and the other 50% is Breezy, which makes you a bit of an asshole with all that information you have.
That's okay. Read and
So-
find out
That's okay.
exactly why that was
Oh,
the best compliment you
okay.
can give.
Oh well, maybe I should take that back. I don't know.
Thank you.
On both accounts, actually.
On both
Okay,
accounts.
Yes. You're
Well, I've already
completely-
seen that. We're already starting to see that Breeze ain't what he tries to portray.
sure.
We're already
Yeah.
seeing hints of. Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breeze
Okay,
is
great.
like this is not.
we'll do another.
we're not-
we'll do
yeah,
another
we're
show
not-
on that.
We're not doing Miss Porn right now. So let's continue on.
to.
I know. Yeah. So
I just
we're
want
in the
y'all
fall.
to know, you people out there in the Wheel of Time world, y'all have opened Ian and I up to a whole nother realm of fantasy, and we very much appreciate it. And Chanel,
I don't know if I have time in my life for it, but it's happening.
yeah, my boss,
It is
luckily,
happening.
the work that she assigns me, I can do in 2 hours. The work she assigns me for a week, I can typically do in 2 hours. So
Mhm.
Nice.
I'm starting Elantris tomorrow. Anyway, continue with where we are.
Fun.
In the
So
Hall-
she's starting to believe because they're actually going
Yeah.
through this.
Yeah, they're
ritual
going through all the
ceremony.
ritual stuff, and she's like, "Well, I'll just deny it. I don't want it." It's like, "Oh, no, that's not how this works. Like, you can't
You
deny it.
then call it.
Imagine though,
It's happening.
imagine you just traveled, did something that people haven't done in thousands of years, traveled the span of however many days in 2 hours, have been with these people for 10 minutes, and they're telling you that they're electing you their leader. And not only
And-
are they electing you later, or maybe no, this shit's happening right now.
There's no
Her-
choice
her-
in this.
Her response is basically what mine would have been. Like, listen for a little bit and then go, "This is a bad idea. This, why would you? No, this is a
I would be like,
horrible.
what's the pay? How
What's in
much
the water here? Stop drinking the water. There's something in it that is messing y'all up."
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, flattered, sure, but at least she's wise enough. To my point earlier, Chanel, she's wise enough to know, like, this isn't just a free for all. I'm the king. I get to do whatever I want, sort of thing. She knows
yeah,
there's
definitely.
be a whole lot of strings. There's a game to play. This is, yeah.
There's more at stake
So-
here than
Well,
just I'm
and
the queen. I can do whatever I want.
I mean, it's like
Right,
you said.
yeah.
She says that this is ridiculous. It is what it is. I want myself for a fool in front of everybody, and that is what I be doing. If this is why the Hall summoned me, I'll tell them no. And then it's like, I fear that is not an option. You cannot refuse the summons to become Amyrlin any more than you can summon for trial. The words of the summons are even the same. And what really caught me was as they were going through the words that are used in the ceremony, becoming Amyrlin has nothing to do with Aes Sedai. It was made very clear by the Grey Sister,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
which makes me think maybe they were never meant to be Aes Sedai.
Well,
Yeah,
at least structured
so-
the way they are.
So the
And again,
Amyrlin-
that gets into
I
my
mean,
theory on how the way they're organized and the oath rod and everything.
Well, and then
There's
yeah.
some Black Aja business or Dark Friend business.
Well, and I was
and
just
all
about to
that.
say, so like
Yeah.
my conspiracy theory is that a Black Aja like got into the mix at some point as the Amyrlin and then added the oath rod and everything to become an Amyrlin.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
quite possible because they didn't start taking the 3 oaths until after Sidene
It was-
did.
pretty. It was after the breaking, but it was pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Oath Rod was around before the breaking. I mean, it's that it's mentioned in the prologue. The 9 rods of Dominion. That's all it says. It says, when it's talking to Luce Theron, you used to command the 9 rods of Dominion. It's like almost throwaway lines, and then you start get introduced to all these different rods. You have the Oath Rod, you have the Black Rod, you have the Red Rod, you have so there's like
Yeah.
Giggity.
and
Actually,
you're
Ian
being
Baum has the
introduced
Red
to them
Rod.
slowly. So definitely it was one of the ancient rods, but was it used for this purpose till later? I'm not 100% sure when it actually started, but yeah. So they get ready for the ceremony. They just like gather the Hall of Sisters really fast. And in the ceremony, they all just get topless, start stripping down.
Cannot wait for this in the show.
Yes.
Let me tell
Which-
you.
It's like, I am a woman.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
told
it's
Chanel, I was like, that's not proof enough because I remember there was an age where I had titties too.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, mine have gotten a little
No.
frumpy.
A little bit.
and
Lately.
and Zul likes to correct me. It's not one of the 9 rods. Okay, sorry, Zul. Never mind.
I know where you can find the Black Rod.
Giggity.
So
Technically.
I'm about to spit some
You
history
took
facts,
it
and you guys are
there.
throwing out black rods.
I feel like I think Chanel is the keeper of that rod at this point. Yeah.
So
Oh,
inter-
it is
interesting,
kept.
interesting,
We got
interesting
25
fact.
days.
Interesting fact or pseudo fact. This is an interesting fact or pseudo fact because they're not really 100% sure of the origin. It's one of the most prevalent reasons, but the word testify, one of the main sources for that is, and it's very appropriate for Ian Snip Snip, comes from the word testis from Latin, which also is testicles, where that comes from. And there's different theories on where that comes from. But one thing that is consistent is in the Pope ceremony, when the Pope is raised, he is put before the cardinals and he has to sit on this, like basically like it looks like a toilet seat, and they reach up underneath this garment and make sure he actually has balls because he has to be a man in the Catholic Church. Very similar to how they're proving they're a woman with the ceremony with showing their breast.
So
It takes
I'm gonna hold myself
Good
right
old.
Well, the
So-
show just got derailed.
So
So with all the stuff in the
I
Catholic
really-
Church
I
that's been coming out over the years, the top dude, the head honcho, has to get fondled.
by the cardinals. Yeah. in order to prove
Like
it.
all of them? Do they all take turns?
I think it's
Is
just
it
one.
anybody?
I think it's one.
Is it
Are they-
anybody who doubts? Can one guy in the back be like, I don't know?
It's the
You
old
just
man
check it
from
out.
Family Guy with the little
How do
whistle.
you
It's like,
feel
"Come
about
here,
this?"
boy."
Someone come check
Come
on
here,
this
boy, I
one. I
need to
think
touch
this
the-
was a little questionable here.
Yeah. No, it's that old dude in the locker room that stands there airing his balls out in front of the fan, just talking to you about his like retirement years or something. You're like, bro.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway.
There was a female folk.
Yeah. There's a
But
rumor that there's a female.
To your point, Chris, they do mention how the ceremony used to include more than just boobs. Like back in the day,
Yeah.
it was a full.
I want the
Strip
full
down.
ceremony when we get to this part of the show.
You get the full ceremony.
Does it even matter anymore? Because we know that men can take female bodies when they get reincarnated or whatever word we're going to use for that. So, what do the boobs
Sorry.
in the Tarvalon really matter? Like
They don't.
They don't. Yeah. But then they do their election process. Someone goes and lights the chimney smoke. Say the Pope's been raised.
Ooh, white
and
smoke! Yay!
It smokes. That used to be actually my trivia team name. Sorry, any Catholics are listening. My trivia team name is If It Smokes at Pope's.
If it
Well,
smells
depending on the
what?
color of the smoke.
If it
Depending on the color of the
smells
smoke,
like- Interesting.
But yeah, and yeah, so the ceremony's over with, and she has questions. She's like,
Well,
"Ask Sherry-"
before we get to the end of the ceremony itself, Egwene is shown the politics of it all right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like
Say
a
it
unanimous vote.
What's my
it's not a
name? Say it
right.
again.
Everybody.
Not a
knows their
unanimous
culture.
vote right off the bat. And part of me is wondering, like, all right, the sisters that didn't stand up first for her and insisted on their feet getting washed a few times, is this something that they intentionally do for any Amyrlin that's getting raised? Kind of like as a reminder, like it's part of the ceremony, like, you're there to just serve us and the people. It's not like you're just in charge, passing out orders. Or are these people just really a-holes and they're trying to let her know, be like, I work for no man. Like, yeah, you wash my feet.
Yeah.
I mean,
it kind of is like parallel to Christ and the disciples.
sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, maybe that was, a little bit of a pull there, or a poke in that direction. So
I'd be less bothered if it was an intentional part of the ceremony as like that reminder of humility going into that position.
yeah.
But afterwards, Shiriam didn't seem to think so. Like you could tell, like they were quite relieved and really nervous that it might not work.
Yeah.
That's a good question that Zul brought up. Why don't they just channel Sidar to prove that they can channel Sidar? But I guess that goes back to the whole thing. Does the Amyrlin have to be a channeler?
No,
There's
I don't
nowhere it
think
says
so.
Aes Sedai.
No.
Like there's nowhere in the whole thing where it says they have to be an Aes Sedai.
Just got to be
They
female.
clearly point that out. They don't. It doesn't. I don't think it even mentions being a channeler per se. I don't know the whole thing. I can go back and and try to do more research on that. But
Good point.
have to be a woman. That's your only. So
I know.
So
anyway.
I don't think they have to be able to channel. I think they really just looking for somebody to lead with good morality.
No, I don't think they'd ever would choose anybody that can't channel, but I don't think it's. I don't know if it's a requirement. I don't know. That's a good question.
No.
It's always been an Aes
Wash
Sedai.
her feet.
Anyway,
She passes
Yeah.
them dry. She gets her votes, and they're like, "All right, the Amyrlin has been chosen. Spread the
Yep.
word. Let
Spread
everybody
the
know."
word.
And it's like, "Please allow me to serve you, mother. Please allow us to serve you, mother."
Yep.
Got these 90-year-old women asking this 15-year-old girl, 20-year-old
18.
girl,
20. She's like 20 at this point.
somewhere.
Maybe
there.
18. 18 at this point. So 16 at the beginning. Yeah, 18 at this point.
All of this happened way too easily.
Agreed.
I don't know why, but it just doesn't sit well for me.
But I think
I wonder
this is
what's
that-
happening in the mirror world where she shows up and gets her ass kicked by the Aes Sedai for pretending to be Aes Sedai.
This is that point in the book, though, where things have to move fast because we're there. Like we're more than halfway through.
Yeah.
And he does this to us. He makes the first part of the book super low. You get tired of reading it. You're almost ready to quit. And then he's like, bam! You're like, oh, shit. And then you're
But again,
sucked in and you're waiting for the next
Lord-
book.
Lord of Chaos, I feel like he you got to tie up a couple of loose ends. But there's just going to be more questions at the end of this and chaos. It got to be.
The Lord of Chaos.
See, thank you, Chanel. That's right.
The
We need
evil
to have
laugh.
both. We need to have Chanel and Tree on at the same time. So when we say stuff, we could just look at their reactions and be like, "Am I right? Am I right?"
Rafa.
Here's my thing.
Oh.
You know what we still haven't gotten, and I'm at a point now where I don't think we're going to get it?
Perrin.
Perrin.
Who?
Or Loyal, for that matter.
No,
He
it's going to
hasn't
be
been
that
around.
last paragraph at the very end.
Who do you need? Who's Perrin?
Who's Perrin?
Oh, the blacksmith guy? He's just the blacksmith.
Him and Loyal both. Like, Loyal should be off getting married by now.
Yeah,
Was he
what's
on
up with
the-
Egwene? This very important day, and we have Egwene perspective all throughout this, and not once does she think about Perrin.
Hmm.
For real.
And
They
they spent
were
all that time
friends.
together with the Tinkers and doing shrooms in the forest and everything. Like,
Yeah.
and she don't even
Yeah.
have a thought about him. That's how insignificant he is. Most important day of her life. And even she's like, Perrin who?
Perrin who?
I don't even know who
Oh,
that
that
is.
guy? Yeah.
Is it a guy? Perrin could be a girl's name, I guess.
I guess.
We even in-law and we don't get Perrin.
It's so messed up.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I guess you got a sales email today, and the guy's first name was Perrin. I was like, I might answer your email solicitation just because.
I'm curious. I
So
really
I'm
want to
very
talk to your parents and
curious,
see how they named you.
So
Yeah.
also,
Tell them I got a
that
podcast they can listen
endorsed
to.
The President's Cup. Day 6.
Hmm?
Watch the final.
Oh,
Final
you
round of
wanna
the
pl-
President's Cup. Watch US win.
Okay.
Yep. Hung out
Was
with mom
it-
and dad.
Was that Pinehurst?
I was at Quail
Quail
Hollow.
Hollow.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, I
Where
think
we
I
get
saw
married.
you posted some pictures. Oh hey,
Oh, cool.
it's gonna be fancy.
So yeah. And then afterwards, that's when Gwen has a lot of questions for Sherry about like what happens if they didn't all unanimously vote for me. And like, well, usually you're deposed. You know, it's kind of
Hold
bad to keep you around.
pause. Nope. A comment was just made, and we're not going to breeze by that. Sorry, people are not going to hate on me, but Perrin is boring. Oh, you broke my heart. Alan was going to try to breeze past that comment, but I actually watch our YouTube video while we do this.
He's a block. You even said it in book 1. You said he's a block.
Yeah, but the
I
trouble
did.
is when he went back to Edmonds Field and everything he did there, like those were phenomenal chapters. Like his storyline was amazing, and then it's just hit the brakes. So
He's
it's
on his
frustrating
honeymoon. He's making little wolf babies.
that he
That's all
doesn't
right.
want to be
Perrin
on.
and Gnome and all the Wolf Brothers are coming. We're going to get a whole Wolf Brother book. I know it.
He's
we
got to
better.
rebuild the family.
If we don't get a
Yeah.
Wolf Brother book, I swear to you, I will burn all the copies of the book we have in the house once we're
You,
done.
you think Perrin's gonna like summon all the wolves?
Yeah,
Well,
why
Okay.
not?
why not?
He's be like,
I want to see what happened to
"Oh,"
Gnome.
They all come running.
Like, that's the only name I remember, and I can say properly. No.
You remember Hopper? You remember some of the wolves? Actual
Oh
wolf
yeah, I
names.
remember all the dogs. Like
Elias.
they're dogs.
Where my
Yeah,
dog's at?
Remember Dapple?
Exactly.
Who was the crazy one? The guy
Burn.
that was going nuts.
That
That was
Yeah.
Gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Poor
Yeah.
guy.
There's Burn, Dapple, Hopper. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Perrin.
but their name's not quite that. It's more like the sunset kisses the lake with the leaves brushing through. We just call it Dapple.
As the wind kisses the lake and ripples
Yeah.
across.
Yeah.
No,
That's
that's a
actually-
short form, Chanel. That's a short form.
Anyway,
Um,
Egwene gets her stall. She's made Amyrlin. We already knew this was gonna happen. That's another guess on our part that we got right. And like you said, way back when, Ian, when we had the flicker moments, she's made it and she has not sworn the oaths. And I don't think she ever will. They're like, oh, when
Hope
we
not.
get back, you will swear the oaths. She's the one in charge.
Right. She could be like, nah, I don't really want to do that.
We're gonna rewrite these laws.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then again, they're gonna find out how many dark friends are involved in the tower, and they're probably not gonna want to go back.
Yeah. Well, the next order of business, as they kind of allude to, the tower has to be whole. Tower has to be won. She is the true Amyrlin in all their eyes at this point, and their goal now is to try to turn their attention to the actual tower to figure out how to, with the army of Gareth Bryn.
They're gonna definitely get smacked for that hard. Like they've been putting off Elida for a very long time.
Not worried about Elida.
Girl in charge. The fury that's gonna come.
Oh yeah.
That's the only word I can use. The fury that is about to ensue. If they don't,
I'm more concerned.
They're gonna really. Oh well, Matt's on the way. Matt will save the day.
Matt's on the way. The band is with him. From the
We got
tower
the
side,
picture
I'm still more worried about Dark Friends, Black Aja, and our Forsaken that is
And
infiltrated.
who else is with Matt?
Avienda.
Who else?
Avienda.
Who else though? I mean, Aviana, yes. Who else?
Oh, Opal, Oval, Odom,
Tolmanus.
Oliver.
Huh?
Oliver.
Oliver.
Oliver. I knew it was an O. Opal.
Oliver.
I said the 6-year-old.
I swear
Yeah.
I'm not drinking. Well, I'm drinking water.
Oh,
Red
well,
wine.
I can't make that claim. My glass is empty.
Red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we in this chapter is after the questions are answered. Pretty much said that you'll be banished if it didn't go the way it did. But it was unanimous, and she's Amyrlin.
Everything worked out.
Everything's
Smooth
sure.
sailing from here.
Yeah, right. Nothing can go wrong now, right?
And so Jordan does give us some satisfaction coming up because my next thought is clearly she needs to meet with Elaine and Nynaeve. Like, also surprised. I mean, I get the whirlwind of all of this happening, but still surprised she didn't like make that demand up front.
Mhm.
But it's coming. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah. Sure. The final one that we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
Any questions, Chanel, you have for them? Non-spoiler questions.
No, not
Spoil away.
not with that one. I think that one's pretty straightforward.
Okay. So let's move to the final chapter for tonight. Chapter 36. The Amyrlin is raised. She comes, she comes. Giggity. Start the next morning. Egwene's just woken up. It's early in the morning, and she finds that she has the Amyrlin's maid and attendants, settling her water, and all the stuff that comes with being Amyrlin. I do love. I think it's in this one of his very first scenes is like when the other Amyrlin comes or other Aes Sedai comes in, and accidentally calls her child and goes, "I mean mother."
Yeah.
I would have given penance for that. Like,
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. Don't let that slip of the tongue happen again.
There's no reason to give it though, because she has to forgive it right away.
Yeah, you can forgive it and be like, don't worry, my child. We won't do pots and pans for a week, just 3 days. Now go. I'll go easy on you this time.
Yeah.
Make an
But-
example of her.
Yeah, she had been up late because they wanted to fill her in with everything. They told her about the embassies they'd sent off to every ruler to try to convince them all that they're the true tower, and about Gareth Bryn's army, and even talked about Logain and him being healed, and they're trying to, they're going back and forth on whether to still him again or what to do with him. And of course, Swan and Leanna being healed. And she stood up pretty late, just pretty much being
it's
filled
all
in with
matter-
everything.
It's all matter of fact conversation. They're not asking her to make any decisions. They're just telling her what's going on and
They're
decisions
catching her up.
that they're making on her.
Yeah.
This is it's a debrief. That's what it is. We need to catch you up to speed. You're in charge now, but we got to get you up to speed on what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And
more
we got to
than
remind
easy.
ourselves, as the reader, we're going through those lists of things going, yeah, we knew that. Yeah, we knew that. But remember, every time all of these things happen, what was our reaction, Chris? We're like, holy shit. So this is big stuff. And they're just dumping it all on her. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, see, here's my thought though. She has been with the wise ones for so long that her ability to take in information, to assess the situation, and then process is just as quick, if not quicker, than theirs.
Oh yeah, she has to be able
Oh, sure, sure.
to. She has to be culturally competent in what she's doing with the wise ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
And we also
You
was it
completely
last
move that
episode?
away.
Didn't we talk about recently how part of Egwene being so cool is like everywhere she ends up, she's not just surviving, she's thriving.
oh
Like
yeah, that was last
she gets
episode.
right.
Yeah, because
She
she
gets
does
to
it with her
understand the
whole
culture where
heart.
she's yep, coming back to that. I mean,
Mhm.
she might be a little hesitant at first, but she's like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to learn how they do business here, and then I'm going to do it as good or better. She's still going to find her own way, but she figures out the rules and figures out the culture, and she's paying attention.
Mhm.
So I got high hopes for her. It's not going to be easy.
Well, and
Yeah.
right away, so she has to give this big announcement, and she's going through the announcement, but she's already made alterations. I don't like this part. Strike that. I'm gonna add this.
Right.
I'm gonna raise my friend. Like I
Right.
love it. My people will
Right.
rise up with me.
What did she? What did she say? She said, "No wonder it sounded like an old woman speaking for forever." You know, they all put their 2 cents in.
I think this
they
was a
want
little bit of
I'm
a
not going to say any of that.
yeah, I think this is a slap in the face to all of them. You know, they had spent a lot of time preparing a speech for her, and she steps outside to the platform of air, and she gets up, and she starts with the prepared marks, and then she kind of just like goes off the cuff, and it's like, you know what? Let's make this a day of celebration. Let's go ahead and raise a few Aes Sedai today. You know, that sounds like fun, right? They kind of get the crowd all hyped up. And
as a leader, you've got to do that. You got to bring your peeps with you.
Mhm.
So imagine, if you will, in U.S. politics, that a new president is elected, whether it's a different party or even if it's same party, and the president just slides in there and keeps all of the same staff, all of the same people as the last person. That just you're setting yourself up for failure. You can
You are.
there's some you can pick and choose that you're like, okay, they're just such an expert. We're going to keep this person around. That's certainly happened. Even with changing certain parties, we've kept certain people in positions, but you've got to bring in your own people that you could trust and work with, and you know they have the same game plan as you. They look at things from a similar perspective. Their mission is the same as yours. So I think she could have done more, but she was pretty wise in just sprinkling that little bit in for right now.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you can piss them off a
Yeah.
little bit, but not too much, and you're still going to bring your peeps up with you.
Yeah. It even surprised her. I mean, I don't know if they're that surprised. I saw that like when I first read it. Shiriam being named as her keeper. The keeper of the Chronicles. Second in charge is Shiriam, which makes sense. Need to get someone.
You know,
on the
I honestly
inside.
thought she would play that a little bit differently.
You thought you would? Okay.
For a minute, I thought she would choose Swan.
Okay.
That'd have been good.
Just
But
out
then
of
also,
loyalty and strategy.
Yeah.
I think.
But you might have
I
power
thought she
struggle
was
there
gonna
with the
choose-
former Amyrlin being
Yeah.
the second in charge now. And there might have been.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought she would have chosen Swan too, just because Swan's been there and knows what the deal is.
Yeah,
And they
again,
have
for-
that connection already. There's already
Yeah, for me, it was
it's
about
a
that
thin
loyalty.
it's a thin veil of trust between them, but there's at least something there, and she doesn't really have that kind of relationship with any of their Aes Sedai except Moraine, and Moraine's not back yet. So
Correct.
Right.
She's
Okay,
floating
not
in
back
the
yet.
ether space.
Somewhere
sure.
out there beneath the what's that song?
Somewhere out
out there.
Yep.
Oh,
I know, right? Childhood.
So, what do you think the other Aes Sedai's? I mean, you kind of get the idea of how they felt about it, but this decoration definitely, you get the immediate reaction with how they let her down.
They're like, oh,
Well,
she
no.
must have been mistaken. I would put the smack down. I'm telling you. Tell me I'm mistaken again and watch if you don't scrub some pots all night. I don't care how long you've been guys to die. You will be scrubbing. As a matter of fact, you will be cleaning their feet.
Yeah.
That would be, you know what? They are risen, and you need to clean their feet with your hair.
Mhm.
yeah.
Nope.
But part of me would love to see Egwene just right off the bat start putting these people in their place and show
Yeah.
how powerful she is. But it is so much smarter to hold your cards to your chest. And as I continue to read on, when she starts talking to Nynaeve and Egwene about how she's going to play this game and how she's going to pick and choose her victories and what she wants to do and where she could steer it, like,
Yeah.
gosh, she's super smart in how she's going about this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even with her
Right.
response to it, like when they ask her, like, "Do you think it was wise to raise 4 accepted without the oath rod to Aes Sedai?" And she says, "It seemed necessary. You know, if you're going to raise me, you know, then that doesn't make sense for anybody else. What's my authority then?"
Right. Now I'm not unique. Now I'm not just the one that
And
they
it
look
also
at and go,
gives
she's the
other-
exception.
It also gives other accepted A, space to think that they can be raised, and B, the ambition to work harder for
Yeah.
her with the hope that she will raise them without the rod. And it
Sure.
opens up the opportunity for her to create an army that she can then put at Rand's disposal, because she can raise them to Aes Sedai without the rod.
So I'm going to make a quick request. And I want you guys to note this. Ian, based on your last comment, Alan, I'm going to make a request to come back for a certain chapter in a certain book.
Okay.
Ooh. So this one's gonna have some payoff. All right.
What was that comment again?
I'm going to
You
make I'm going to
remember?
make a request just because I want to be here when you
When
guys
he's
discuss.
so wrong.
I'll co-sign that.
I know it's wrong. I'm enjoying it.
What was your comment?
Just say, Alan, save a clip from whatever it is I just said, because I said
Uh-huh.
so much. I don't even know exactly what it was, but get a little
I
clip.
let
and just-
you talk a little while longer too, just so you wouldn't specifically know what I was
Ah.
referring to.
All right. All right.
I'll say the clip. Sure.
Sure. Raphael.
Ian, but again, this sets her up to create an army that she can use alongside of Rand. And remember how I forget who said it, but Egwene could be with Rand, but not in the way he needed her to be. But she would be support and
Yes.
be equal. And here we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what, even when they're talking about, oh, we have to set our eyes on the tower and unite the tower and whatnot. Is that really Egwene's priority? I mean, with everything else that we know is about to go down, like, even if she's like, okay, yeah, let's go to the tower and handle this. Oh, wait, Elaine's gonna get drugged to Camelin, and then this is happening, then this is happening. I can see her being like, nah, we got to change the priorities. We're gonna go take these armies,
Matt is
plural,
gonna
that we
be the
have now.
wild card. Matt's going to be her wild card.
Well, Matt, so all right, now Matt promised Rand that no matter what, he's gonna get Elaine to Camelin.
Yeah.
So if he gets there and Egwene's like, hey, we're going to the tower, he's gonna be like, good luck, you're going to the tower. I'm not, my people aren't. She's coming with me.
But she's not going that way. They're going to Ebadar.
Who?
Elaine and Nynaeve. That's where they want to go.
Well,
that's the next scene.
It depends on how quickly Matt gets there. See,
And Matt's
the
right
timing of all of it,
outside,
and when
like-
they cross paths and everything, yeah, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not chilling right outside the woods, like watching all this go down.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah, that's Aes Sedai shit. I'm gonna let that happen first.
Right. You don't meddle in Aes Sedai business.
He pretty much is chilling out there. Remember,
Yeah,
Rand is like, I'm not
serious.
gonna drop you right in the middle of it. I'm gonna drop you right outside the woods, so you
Yeah.
can kind of casually walk up. So that's next week's
Mhm.
episode.
This
Sure.
week.
So the next thing she does is she has to see Elaine and Nynaeve, and they come in and curtsy and call her mother, and Queen's like, don't do that, please. Stop.
Tug your hair. Tug your hair harder.
Stop.
Now
Don't
spank
do
her
it.
with it.
We're friends. And they sit down and talk, and they talk about a lot of different things, but Rand comes up almost immediately. And I love this little interaction just because she's like, Rand loves you, Elaine. That's what Egwene says. And he's even keeping the Lion Throne for you and wants to give it back to you. And it's like, he wants to do what? He wants to give it. It's not his to
Right.
give.
Oh.
Fine.
I caught that line too, and I would have been offended. I'm like,
She
what?
straightened up.
I'm like, it's
her
already
nose.
mine. What do
She's
you
like,
mean?
no,
Give
no,
it
no.
He's
to
gonna
me.
give me my throne.
He's gonna give you something else though.
It's like, you think you had it? What? No, you're sorely
Yeah.
mistaken.
I don't know. I guess from her perspective, I get that reaction because she doesn't know totally what went down in Camelin, what happened to her mother. That
Mhm.
was it. Ravine that was
Yeah,
there.
Ravine.
Yeah, Ravine being there, and like what Rand did, and obviously, like right off the bat, he's already telling everybody, you know, I'm just a placeholder here until we get more gays or Elaine back, and
Mhm.
so I guess she shouldn't be mad at that comment, but I guess from her perspective, she doesn't know all that, so
Right.
yeah, whatever.
Well, she's
Yeah.
like, by blood, I have claim to both. So
Doesn't
he ain't
Rand
give me
also?
nothing that's already
Right.
mine.
Right? It's
Now,
already
if he
mine.
wants to give me that
Technically,
rod,
but in Andor, it's always a female. I guess
Give me
but
the
it's a
spear.
Well,
matriarch.
he's about to have a daughter with Avienda,
Mhm.
so
why daughter? Why not a son?
well, because now I want there to be conflict over the throne.
Uh,
It would make for better story writing.
Yeah, because a girl can ascend to the throne. But yeah, I mean, technically, Galad has I mean, well, is higher up in the claim than Rand would be.
Yeah.
But anyway, but there's no male heirs anyway, so it doesn't matter. So and then they switch to talking about the Bowl of Winds. They're like, yeah, we're not really sure exactly what it does, but it can do weather maybe, but we don't know where it is, and it's somewhere in Ebadar, but we don't really know, and we don't really know what it's supposed to do, but we need it. We need to go get it now. It's like, well, you're already die. You can do what you want. That's kind of Egwene's response to it was like, yeah. you're
and
Aes Sedai.
she does the exact same thing that the others have done, which is, I need you here. When
Yeah.
I don't need you here, then I'll send you. But for right now, you're staying put.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she makes a good case too. Obviously, like initially, Nynaeve and Elaine are like, sweet, you know, we're besties with the Amyrlin. We could do what we want, and is where Egwene kind of gets into the politics of it. And all right, I can't just make y'all my favorites now and bless off on every single thing you want to do, sort of thing. We got to play the game, blah 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 blah.
Speaking of favorites, I won't take it yet. I'll leave it.
Oh, I'm still undecided.
No, I have to give it to Egwene because of her growth. Because
Yes.
I remember specifically a few books back being like, she's a stupid, ditzy little thing that doesn't deserve even the thought of being made Amyrlin. And after her trials and tribulations with the wise ones and
She's been Aiel trained, man. Yeah.
traveling with parents and all of that.
But then she got the ass beating of her life, of all of our lives.
And she took it. All of it.
And, yeah,
Giggity.
and
Right
matured
on
a
the
little
butt,
bit
on the
because of
butt.
it. She gained 100 experience points,
Mm-hmm. Leveled up.
plus 10 dexterity.
Yeah. Like I said, they say to do that, but she's also worried about her position here as well. She's like, yeah, I'm Amyrlin, but they all view me as a novice. I can tell by the way Sheriam looks at me, by the way the other two sisters that wanted to be Amyrlin look at me. They still look at me as the novice.
Yeah.
And,
Until she could publicly do some Amyrlin shit
Well,
where
even
everybody recognizes it to the point where it can't be just taken away from her. Like it
Whew.
still doesn't quite count.
When she realizes that
Read it, now
Sheriam
that's
is the only one that has the exact same power. Well, we're almost done.
Okay, never mind.
Like, she realizes that Sheriam's the only one close enough in power to her in the
Mhm.
room.
And not even really close, but she's the closest.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yep. And they speak a bit about the Aes Sedai will see Egwene just as a puppet Amyrlin. Finally Egwene tells Elaine and Nynaeve she will send them after she's done with what she needs to do here to Ebadar. But for right now, need to finish this stuff up, and then you guys can go. I'll send you. I just don't want to be deposed and raised in the same day, I think is the term she used.
Yeah.
Can't send you right away.
yeah.
I mean, like I said before, I get that notion of wanting to keep them close. I mean, I'm sure like maybe she could trust Sheriam a little bit. maybe
You know,
Swan a
she
little
makes a
bit,
comment like, I need
but
people
she's
around
got to
me
have her
that I
people.
trust, and
Mhm.
people that
Yeah.
will help keep me in my place, and people that will be honest and truthful,
Right.
and tell me if I look fat in a dress and my butt's getting too big, or you know.
I think, and I think she's using that as an example, but more in a joking way. I think she needs another set of eyes that can pay attention to what's happening around her. I mean, she knows her being made Amyrlin. There's
Well,
a
you
plan. There's a plan in that she still
Yeah.
don't know. She still does not know what it is yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
there are
obviously, like,
literal strings attached to that.
yes, big old
Literal.
strings.
You
And
got-
there's got to be people that are opposed to it. Who cares that there's a unanimous vote? There's
Yeah.
probably people in that camp right now that are 100% opposed to it, but they've either been promised something or they think they're going to get something out of it that made it worthwhile for them. So what are those things? And she's got to figure
can't
that
wait
out.
for
She
her to
needs
completely
eyes
upset
helping
the
her.
apple cart. I have all the faith in her now. She's gonna upset that apple cart.
I'm a little nervous for her, but I
Yep.
think she's I think she's going about it the right way with her eyes wide open. Hopefully, she sees whatever's coming at her coming.
Hey Sam, we see your comment. We appreciate you jumping on. We're gonna acknowledge you just because you jumped on, even though you're not where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yay,
Yep.
Sam!
Yay, Sam. Catch up. Hurry up. Read fast. Read slow.
Mustard.
You'll be past this in 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't take long. Ask
Don't
Chanel.
worry about it.
We go
Yeah.
very slow. You can pass this easily.
Very, very slow.
Oh.
Mhm. So I know Chris has already said it. Favorite character was Egwene, but anything we missed before we get a favorite character?
I don't know. I feel like
These chapters
what do
are
you think- What do you think implications are? Where do you think this is going to go? That's a good question. Like, what do you think? What do you think the end game is for Egwene here? I mean, do you think this is her downfall? Do you think this is actually going to be something good? I mean, we're any predictions on that?
That is the question, right? So chapters like these, we're thinking we're getting so much good stuff, and we are. We're like, oh, look at everything we got. But then you really start looking at what you got, and you're like, fuck, I just got more questions. Like, there's so many unknowns and possibilities of how all this stuff can happen.
Greater relationship being built between the Aes Sedai and the Wise Ones. And I see, if it were me in Egwene's shoes, I need the Aes Sedai to have a greater control of the power. I need the Wise Ones to have a greater control of the power. I need the Aes Sedai to have a better control of the dream world. So we're going to be doing some cross training. We are going to be sending some of the accepted out to train with the Wise Ones, and we're going to be creating a lot, because we know that Rand needs at least 100 women to go with his 100 men.
Do you think Rand's going to trust them?
Rand doesn't have to trust them.
Okay.
Rand just has to be able to manipulate them, and that's to the end of.
Do you think Rand can manipulate Egwene?
Do you think Egwene can manipulate Rand? I'm shaking my head knowing all these. Chris, let me say something. You have a beautiful mind. I love so much of what you say, but you are being so hopeful and optimistic. Like, I can look at it that same way and be like, well, there's a lot of room for process improvement here. Like, and Egwene has all these different perspectives and understanding of different relationships and cultures, and she knew Rand and still knows him well enough. Like, she's the perfect piece here to kind of help gel this all together, right? But it's not just her. Like, there's still all these factions of people that are set in their ways and have their own plans and everything. And is she gonna be able to control and manipulate all of these people? No. And there's still so many unknowns. There's people hiding in the shadows that are just getting ready to jump out just when she thinks she has a hold of things.
She just killed the ones.
I mean, we knew one of the Aes Sedai there is a Black Sister. I mean, we know that because he met with the Forsaken in a couple chapters ago.
Yeah, walked right past Swan. Just boop. Excuse me.
We have a Forsaken in the village right now.
There is. There's two.
That's true. Yeah.
McVettian's collared.
One of them
She's
is
there.
chained up.
One is chained up.
Yeah, well, I don't count
There's
her
two
anymore.
Forsaken. You don't count her
I don't
anymore?
count her anymore.
Okay.
She ain't gonna
She's
stay
gonna
in that
die.
collar forever.
She's gonna die soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So favorite
So
character.
I like that notion, Chris, but that ain't gonna happen.
Here's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Moraine to show back up.
Chaos. What does that say? Chaos.
You're gonna be waiting a long time.
I'm waiting for
man.
Moraine to show back up.
Wait for that fan fiction to come out.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh.
I love for the longest time I was so ready for Moraine to go. I was like, she's just horrible. So, man, she can do such a better job. And then she's gone. I'm like, where's Moraine?
That's funny. That
She
you
was
said
the
that.
only one holding this together.
She really was.
She was from
Yeah.
the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like they fought her every step of the way.
Oh yeah.
Every single step of the way they fought her.
Yep.
Robert Jordan does a really good job of writing Moraine, though. Like, as far as just like in the beginning, a lot of time, first time readers do not like Moraine in the beginning because they side with with the point of view characters, which are the Emmons Field, and then you look at
Wow,
it
I
from
didn't.
Moraine's point
I
of
always
view
liked
after you. Yeah, but I'm not saying everyone. I said a
I
lot,
like
not
the
everyone.
women that attracted those.
But but then you look at it from another perspective after you know Moraine's intentions because you learned that later on, and learned everything that Moraine's gone through. And it's like
Yeah.
these snotty kids that will not listen to what needs to be done. Like,
Yeah. I think she is the character I'm most curious about in a reread and having that new perspective.
Yeah.
Because if I were to start over now, everything she did, I would just give her the benefit of the doubt versus being very suspicious of her.
Mhm.
You know, I'm just
And that would-
waiting
that would
for
just
some
change the
time
perspective.
when everybody feels Nynaeve in all the drama, and Nynaeve fills them in on all of her drama, and they kind of they are going to communicate, right? Like fill each other in, tell each other what's going on. You know, there's a whole bunch of questions.
Share their vulnerabilities with each other. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a whole lot of question marks. Nynaeve was like, what are they talking about? What are you talking about? And Egwene's like, what do you mean? And Elaine's like, but what do you mean? But they need to have a tea session, tea time, noon tea, evening tea, whatever tea.
Well, let's see what we think about that next week, because I feel like, again, we're at this precipice. I think it's going to be so chaotic. There isn't going to be an opportunity for them.
I have
to
a tea
push and
time
pull
on
the strings.
I have a tea time on Friday, but if Ian comes in early, then damn it, gonna screw everything up with rain. Got to
Yeah.
Hurricane
Yeah,
Ian.
I'm going to visit Florida. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be great.
I'm going to Tampa, guys. All right. My favorite character, just because she popped in, I've got to say Bella. 100%.
Yes.
How do you not give a nod to Bella?
There you go. Bella came back. The creator was in this chapter.
Yep.
Where is she at right now that she has a hard wooden saddle?
She's in Saldar. Swan Ritter, all the way down there.
Swan Ritter.
That's true. But she should be like chilling, not with a saddle on her.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well,
that's
how she
what
pictured her.
pictured her.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's Ian got Bella. Chris, you're still like Egwene.
Yeah.
Gotta
Chanel,
give Egwene a nod here.
did you have a favorite character?
Oh,
Chanel?
I'm torn between Elaine and Egwene. I feel like I relate very heavily to Elaine, but like I can't remember which one of you guys said it. Egwene's growth over the past couple of books has been very commendable, and I can't wait to see where she goes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I know a little bit more than you two do, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I am like 5 books ahead of you already.
A few books worth.
You still aren't going to
My-
see Perrin. Perrin
my-
is my character.
Yeah, my favorite's Tamanas because he's coming. Because he's outside in the forest watching. He's here.
That's true.
Alan, you're the worst.
I know I am. It's I get 0 points, right? Anyway, next week we're doing 3 chapters again. 37, 38, and 39. When battle begins, which I know Ian's really excited about that. He called me and was frustrated or texted us. A sudden chill. Little chill.
Do they
Are
multiply?
we gonna get winter after all the summer with no rain?
I don't know. That chapter title has dice on it, so I don't know what that's about. And then possibilities. We're not doing choices anymore. Now we're into possibilities. That's the last chapter we're doing.
Well, everything's possible. It's just about
So don't feel good about it.
You don't feel good about
because everything's possible.
So not choices anymore. Now we're possibilities.
That right there, Ian, is our parent chapter.
Could be.
No, that's totally a match.
The dice one with the wind blowing stuff. That's gonna be a Matt chapter. I bet you. So the girls aren't just gonna. Elaine's not just gonna go along and do whatever Matt wants. Maybe he gets there and she's like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll go with you, but I have to do this first." So he's gonna help them go get that wind bowl thingy, the weather bowl.
I like that.
Yep, I can see that happening.
This will make you. No, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Parent who?
Hey Dan, what's up?
Yeah, brother Dan. And Dan, thank you again for letting us use your Bella clip. We used it again.
Yeah, had to use it this chapter.
Had to use it. And they're coming on soon. We're coming on right before your wedding. So,
Ooh.
yeah, so
They're always fun.
Should
Love
be
those
fun
guys.
with them. That's all I got. So, you guys ready for me to tell us everybody how we can be found for the 135th time? All right. So how we can be found? We can found at thewillreads.com. That's it. You know what? At this point, it's 135 episodes, Ed. You guys, if you guys started here, stop. Go back to the crappy stuff.
To the beginning.
Go to the crappy stuff where we're recording on cell phones, and it's really horrible. And we had audio lag because I didn't know how to edit, and everything was technical difficulty glitches all the time, which it still kind of is. But just go back there. And
fun back then. We still do.
We still have fun. It was in the middle of COVID too, so we're just drunk all the time. It was great. Now we're like back in the office and actually have to like go to work in the morning, so you can't get just.
Is it bad that every now and then I want another COVID moment?
You know,
I was in my bed.
Aspects of COVID I miss.
I was fit. I found my fiance. Like so much good happened during that COVID.
It was the best of times. It was the worst.
It was the worst of times.
Right. Come on, Toll.
Yeah. And Critter just showed up in chat. I guess she started from the beginning and watched the reaction to the reaction. So thank you for allowing us to react to your reaction to your reaction. If you want to return the favor and react to our reaction, we can just make this chaotic, and the Lord of Chaos can reign.
Deeper.
The Lord of Chaos is a person. We now have that.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's all I got for this week, guys.
Until next time.
Peace.
Okay, bye.